Hi everybody, welcome to another absolute beginner's knitting tutorial with me, Laura, and in this video I'm going to show you how to cast off. So hopefully so far you've learned how to cast on, how to do the knit stitch and how to do the purl stitch, and you might want to be finishing your projects now, so let's show you how to cast off. And all you do is, depending on which stitch you have at the front here, we know our little V's here, our little upside down V's or right way up V's, depending on how you look at it, is the knit stitch, okay? And if you've got little horizontal bars like this, it's the purl stitch. So depending on what stitch is facing you is how we're going to cast off. So as you can see here, we've got the knit stitch to the front, so we're going to cast off with the knit stitch. And it's really simple, it really is. All we do is the knit stitch to begin. So we go in from the left hand side and needles underneath, wrap our yarn round and do a normal knit stitch, okay, and we put that onto our other needle like so. Then we're going to do knit stitch the next one as well. So left hand side, go through the loop, needles underneath, wrap the yarn round and do a knit stitch. Okay, so hopefully you're quite used to the knit stitch from my other tutorial. But when you've got two loops on your right needle, what we're going to do is we're going to put our needle into the first one here, and we're just going to put it over this second one. So what you want to do is make sure that that comes over the top and you keep the second one on your needle. Then you just drop that other needle. Okay, and it will start to move across as you cast off. Okay, so we need to do that all the way across, always doing it with two loops. So we're going to knit the next one. So going from the left hand side and do a knit stitch. So we end up with a nice loop again on our right hand needle. Here we go. We do exactly the same thing again. We take this first loop here, put our needle in there, and we're going to bring it over the top of this second loop, and you want to catch this second loop, you want to keep it on your needle. So we're just pulling this loop over that second one and then dropping it off, okay, like so. You can see it's starting to cast off. We just do that all the way across. So we go into the next stitch and do a knit stitch as normal, and then we need to pull this first loop over the second loop. Now you can either do it with your needle, but if you struggle with that you can just use your fingers and pull that over, keeping that second loop on your needle like so. So whatever you find easiest at first if you're new to knitting. And then we do that again, we do a knit stitch. So we get a second loop. We have to remember to cast off as we go and not get into the habit of just knitting, which I've done before. Okay, so we put our needle into that first loop and we're going to pull it over this second loop. Just putting it over, keeping that second loop on our needle. Just push your needle up and then dropping that off. And there we go. That's how you cast off, and you can see it's creating little V shapes over the top of your project. So there we go. Let me just do that all the way across until we end up with one loop at the end. So knit one and then pull that loop over the second one. Knit one and then just pull that first loop over this second one. And then just slip it off. Okay, so do that all the way across until you run out of loops. You only have the one loop left in your project. literally doing is pulling this first loop over the top of that loop, and I'm keeping that loop on my needle. Okay, and then I'm just dropping that one off so that one stays on. It's almost to the end. Oops, hasn't gone all the way over. So just make sure you don't catch anything. It's really hard doing this slowly. Okay. Then you end up with one loop left on your left needle, and you just knit that as normal. Then you do the same thing again, you pull this first loop over the second one, keeping that second one on your needle, and drop that. So eventually you end up with just the one loop on your needle, and there you can see a nice neat row of little V's going all the way across the top where you've cast off, like so. And all you do at the very end is cut your yarn, and I'm not going to cut my yarn, but you cut your yarn and then you just pull this loop up until the end comes through, and then it just creates a little knot at the end. Okay, so you just cut your yarn and then pull it through until the end comes through. Let's take that out. So you just cut your yarn, pull it through until the end comes through, so imagine that's the end there, and then you just pull that tight and it creates a little knot on the end, like so. I don't want to cut my yarn because I want to reuse it, and there we go. That's how to cast off in knitting, and in my next tutorials I'll show you how to increase and decrease in knitting, and I've also done a tutorial on a fisherman's rib, English rib variation, so look out for that soon, and I'll see you soon for some more knitting fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.